Hello, book lovers, and welcome back to the channel. The Shadowfold awaits, my review of Shadow and Bone. If you're looking for a book to rip you out of your chair and transport you to a world of monsters, magic, and political intrigue, then you need to know about Leigh Bardugo's Shadow and Bone, the first book in the Grishaverse trilogy. This book has almost 1.1 million ratings on Goodreads, so you know it's a big deal. And today I'm diving into why, character growth, and the heart of Ravka. Overall, this was good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. There were some aspects I felt needed a bit more fleshing out, and some I could have done with less of, but I like this journey overall. Let's talk about our main character, Alina Starkov. She seems insignificant when the story starts, just another person serving in the army, but everything changes when her power reveals itself. She becomes the absolute center of everything, and I love that journey. She comes from what some might call nothing, and becomes so much more than she ever expected. What I really appreciated is that Alina doesn't box people into categories based on talent or rank. She talks to everyone and finds out for herself who they are. Now, a small thing I didn't like was seeing her drift away from her best friend, Mal, once she's whisked away to the royal court. But in a way, Alina's personal story perfectly embodies what her nation, Ravka, is going through. They are strong but feel lost and need guidance. They are smart but scared, trying to figure things out, and you know there's so much more underneath the surface than what you're initially shown. The Grishaverse and a need for more, my friend. My biggest point of contention is that the world building needed more. Ravka is a nation literally torn in two by the Shadowfold, a swath of impenetrable darkness crawling with monsters. It's a huge, fascinating concept, but I wasn't quite sure of the entire history, and in some areas, that detail was really needed. Specifically, I wanted more on the Grisha, the magical elite, and more on Alina's unique powers. In some ways, the suspense is great because it keeps you guessing, but in others, you need a little more to ground the rarity of what's happening. For instance, Alina struggles in her training, then goes to someone new, and suddenly things click. I needed a bit more fleshing out on the why of that. Why is her power so rare? A little more on the mechanics of her specific magic would have helped dangle that carrot without letting you eat the whole thing. Emotional connection and a shady figure. One of the strongest elements of this book is how Alina's emotions bleed through the pages. You are right there in the story with her, seeing everything through her eyes, and that makes you feel as if you are within her. Watching her struggle is fantastic because it shows she isn't some perfect chosen one. She is trying and failing. Her frustration at all the secrecy around her is absolutely real, and you feel that too. Leigh Bardugo has a great way of making the story feel alive while making the emotions feel completely authentic. Speaking of things that felt authentic, let's talk about the Darkling. I was not a fan, and I didn't trust him or his intentions from the beginning. Bardugo is fascinating in how she presents the dichotomy of his character. We aren't given too much information, but we get enough to know this ain't good, my friend. And the ending? Whoa. Just whoa. It was so good and a fantastic payoff. Final verdict. Overall, this was a great book that you seriously can't put down. You get to watch Alina learn her magic, grow in both fighting skill and magical ability, learn the truth of who to trust and who not to, build new friendships, and finally find where she wants to be and what side she wants to be on. She slowly has her eyes open to the truth of all around her, and it makes for a fantastic ride. So if you haven't been to the Grishaverse yet, I highly recommend starting with Shadow and Bone. Let me know in the comments if you've read this book, and tell me, are you Team Alina? Or are you drawn to the mysterious Darkling? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more book reviews, and I'll see you in the next one.